Akademiks can't ride no wave.
But is Kendrick already predicted that Drake was gonna make some outrageous claims?
But I'm at the crib.
What, isn't today Saturday?
Yeah, but the superstars drop. You gotta be ready. Just like last night, Family Matters dropped on Spotify. I had to do what I had to do.
Do you have to playlist those songs, or do you playlist those songs, or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to. They're the most relevant songs of the moment. So I'm not gonna wait till Monday just because I'm off. I'm gonna just drop them in right there. Like, the songs dropped on other platforms first, right? So everyone's wired to just go there. But on a day-to-day, they use Spotify, they use other platforms, so you got to let them know it's there. And one of the ways to create an entry point is the playlist, right? Some of them might not know. They might click on Rap Caviar, and all of a sudden, oh, shit, Family Matters is on there. Oh, shit, Not Like Us is on there.
And by the way, I'm actually interested, which I think this is probably just a larger discussion. I'm wondering how the labels feel about how these guys are releasing music, which for me it's absolutely fine, right? Because they're allowing it to get eaten up and digested and regurgitated by the, say a streamer like me or other people who are within the content space, because that's where a lot of discussions happening. And then later it does get to DSPs though, because that's how, primarily where, the record labels and the artists themselves make their money. Usually it's they're diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
I think it's a different conversation when you're talking about Drake and Kendrick, because they're the tier, like the A plus stars.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that case, they're just calling the shots. It's more so about what they want to do, and the label supports them. I think it would be a different conversation if it was maybe an artist at an earlier stage. I think because it's Drake and Kendrick, we're just going to consume whatever it is. But I'm glad you brought this up, because I remember my reaction when I first heard that, ironically, an album that's connected to this was going to drop, followed by a second drop. When I first heard that Future and Retro were dropping 2 albums in a row, my reaction was, you're going to cannibalize yourself. It's too much music. But that's the difference, right? Like, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but that has to be like 40 songs between 2 projects or something like that. Rather than, instead of, we've gotten on DSPs specifically, we've gotten 2 songs from Drake and 3 songs from Kendrick. So it's 5 songs. Not too bad.
Yo, I feel like it's been so many songs.
It's been more because of Taylor Made and 616.
Exactly.
So it's been more.
Let me just start off by asking you, what do you feel right now? Again, you're probably in the middle of working, but you have to program in Not Like Us, and that's a different sounding record than we've heard from Kendrick. In this whole thing, what are you thinking, man?
Well, in terms of what, I can go in a million directions. You mean where we're at now? Who's in the lead? Like, what are we talking about?
How does this battle look to you on narrative perspective, and also being someone who cares about the records that come out? And when I mean cares about it, you also probably listen to these records and say, well, Family Matters is a record that's about 7 minutes long with 3 beat switches, but it's pretty catchy. And then you think about, if we're talking about Meet the Grahams, which I don't think is that on streaming platforms? I don't know if it is, but
it is now.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's more of an eerie type joint. How are you viewing really this back and forth?
Okay, this is perfect. Let's start with the music and how it sounds, right? Because Like That is the first record, really, and Like That, Metro makes Rap Caviar type of production, right? But Like That has a slightly different feel to it. But that was easy, right? Put it on the top of the playlist. It does well immediately. Same thing for Push-Ups. But again, it's Drake, who's performed very well historically in Rap Caviar. And, the production is in line with a lot of the stuff that's on the playlist. The first interesting thing was Euphoria. Because think about the way it starts, right?
It's slow.
It's slow. So I listened to it, and I'm like, but obviously I heard it a couple hours before, right?
Oh, by the way,
because it was on.
I am cutting you off, but hey, I just seen Not Like Us get that number one spot. I want to talk about that record a lot, but go ahead. Bring it on. I have rap. Hey, by the way, if you guys have Spotify, make sure you are subscribed to Rap Caviar. I keep telling you, this is my man Carl Chery. He's not only responsible for Rap Caviar, but that is the flagship playlist of Spotify, and my man does an amazing job of being fair, unbiased, neutral, and he's just a genuine lover of music, trying to make sure that his curation tactics is going to matter for, everybody in the world, not just, people that, might lean one way or the other. Go ahead though, brother.
So Euphoria sounds very slow, right? And the way streams are counted, the listener has to get through the first 30 songs and it counts for a stream, right? But the
first 30 seconds, you mean? Yeah.
Sorry, first 30 seconds. The intro of Euphoria is what, like 90 seconds, maybe?
Yeah,
a minute, right? So what? And I'm gonna step on your Not Like Us question with what I'm about to say, and then we can get into it, right? The way I've been trying to reflect the battle as much as possible is just like some kind of chronology and some kind of fairness, right? Like, so Push-Up drop, like that drop, it was at the top of the playlist. Push-Up drop, I put it on top of Like That. So it's like, it's a reverse chronology, right? The most recent song goes on top, but then the other song is right under, so it's connected, and people get if they're not familiar, they get the context from both songs, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought about Euphoria, and I was like, oof, how's that going to do? But obviously, because of the magnitude of the battle, the instinct is you just go on top of the playlist. And let me tell you, it performed fantastically, just like all the other songs so far. Push-Ups has done incredible. Like That has done incredible. So I think right now, it's not necessarily about the way the music is sounding. It's more so about how invested people are in the battle. Like, there's a range of sound between all of those songs, and they're all performing well.
Let me ask you a question. I think Drake realizes the game and realizes that, hey, in public narrative, which he knows this battle will be determined by, hey, when all those headlines went out to say Euphoria got the biggest single day globally of all hip-hop songs, I think he knew, I need to beat that to let people know I'm winning this battle. Family Matters drops, and quickly it was on DSPs. We won't get a report probably maybe until tomorrow, I believe, of what it actually did. But here comes Kendrick immediately with a song, Not Like Us.
You know what I'm gonna do, Act? You know what I do for you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you in real time how many streams Family Matters has on Spotify right now.
Really? Not. Oh, let's go.
It's currently at 4.8 million.
4.8 million Family Matters right now. Globally?
Globally.
Wait, hold on though. But I don't know if does it reset at midnight or 3 a.m. Like,
so this is total. So it's going up, right?
Yeah.
So by the time we hang up, it's gonna be at 5. Right now, I'm seeing literally the numbers go up. I have this app that shows me all of the songs on Spotify and how they're performing on platform, right? So right now it's going up, up, up. Family Matters was so Drake dropped what time last night?
He dropped like right before midnight.
Yeah, so it's a wonky thing to calculate because of the time. So I don't know that 4.8 number is reflective of a full day yet.
Yeah.
Those numbers I'm not going to get until probably Monday when I get back to the office. But we talked about it the last time I jumped on the live. Like, it's a little tricky to count those streams just the way they're dropping. They're dropping off cycle, different weird times and stuff like that. So it's a little tricky.
Hey, well, we talked about it. We anticipate that Drake got to beat that. That 9.8,
Yep.
that 9.8 or 9 point whatever,
9.2.
9.2. I'm sorry. That 9.2 mil, Drake got to beat. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, first of all, let me get your opinion on Family Matters. Then I want you to get your opinion on Not Like Us. Just you listen to the songs. And by the way, for everybody who's listening, I'm with Carl Chery, just an avid music listener, avid, curator in terms of, he works with Spotify, but clearly a guy who loves music, period. This is a guy just like me, probably just like you if you're watching this stream right now on a Saturday night. You are listening to music for a majority of your day. You work out and listen to music. You work and listen to music. Music is a heavy part of your life. I'm asking you now, Carl, what was your opinion of both of those tracks when you first heard it and even after a couple listens?
Okay, so like push-ups, for me, Family Matters kept getting better with every listen. First listen, at first I'm just catching a vibe. The beat is hard, and Drake is just swagging on it, right? But the more I listened to it, the more I started I settled in and I was like, all right, this is fire. Now I want to break it down by target, right? I don't think the Kendrick jabs landed well. I think the strength of that record, or more so because of the other jabs. Like, Rocky got flamed the fuck up.
I agree. I agree.
Like that. And the funny thing about the Rocky part is that we all knew he was coming, and we all knew what Drake had to say. Because I think we all reacted the same way when he said, "Yeah, I hit your BM first." It's like, wait, why are you saying that? You know how he can respond. But the way Drake said it was so slick. The acknowledging the white boy and turning it into like everybody's waving the white flag when everyone's singing along to it. Like,
I thought that was brilliant. That was genius. That was genius.
Hard. That was one of the hardest songs on the track. I'm gonna be honest. I know everyone involved. I don't know Drake personally, but I know his camp. I know Kendrick and people on that side. I'm not comfortable discussing the more personal lines on it. To me, it just went to a place where I was like, "Ooh, can we just keep it to the sport?"
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even trying to touch that, but it did feel like those jabs to me didn't land as well as everything else that Drake did. But the song itself is hard.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still digesting that song. That song to me is really good. Push Ups is a personal favorite, but the more I keep bumping Family Matters, I'm like, damn, yo, that second beat switch is ain't no goddamn joke. And also that third beat switch is kind of crazy. And of course, we have Kendrick who stepped on it, and he dropped, I believe 6 the timestamp record, correct?
No, so the way he stepped on it was with Meet the Grams.
Oh yeah. See now I'm getting them like in the wrong order. Yeah, Meet the Grams, which to me, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a sucker for some of these cerebral, lyrical
Yeah.
records. So I like that. But let's focus on the ones that made it to DSP, which is okay. After that record today, he drops
Oh man,
Not Like
not
Us.
like us.
First, you're
so,
you,
so
I'm not trying to dox you, by the way, but like you're West Coast based, correct?
yes. All right. So we haven't even talked about the strategy yet, right? The fact, and I know it's focusing on the fact that, the DSP songs, but the fact that he dropped Meet the Grams on top of Family Matters is crazy. The fact that he followed up the next day with Not Like Us is crazy. I was watching the game, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, like everybody else. Like, no one is expecting him to double back and drop another one. And the most interesting thing to me was I was paying attention to the criticisms around not like that. Sorry, around Meet the Grams, and it was kind of the same thread that people have been saying all week, right? Some people want Kendrick to be more direct. Some people
Want him to
think
double
it's
down
too
a bit.
highbrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not into psychological warfare. Like they're not getting the point. Like like they're seeing some of the lyrics that are straightforward and they're simplifying them. They don't see the depth in it, right? But then for him to follow up with a record that's just like a party song, like more down the middle, that's more fun. I feel like him leaning into the West Coast sound, having Mustard on the production, switching his flow where he's sounding like he's a Bay dude for a little bit. It was a response in itself to just like, I get more love in your city than you, Pop being part of the thread throughout, like, The Ring, the tailor-made freestyle with the AI. So,
by the way, I think he attempted to do. I think he was always predicting Drake, and he had moves for every possible Drake move. And I think that after the Taylor, the Meet the Families dropped, he had a record to really go in depth to kind of change that convo. But what he really wanted to drop, so I really look at that Meet the Grams drop. That's like a mid round drop, just like I've called 616. His next record he wanted to drop was 100% Not Like Us, but he was gonna drop that if Drake was gonna drop again. But I think he probably saw some smoke signals that maybe Drake is down to leave this alone, because Drake literally said, "Yo, hey, y'all niggas better come better next time, but I'm about to go on vacation," right? Like, I think that's them saying, no, nigga, cancel that vacation. Cancel, no, we got our whole clip loaded. Cancel that shit.
Yo, so I had the same thought. I had a similar thought. I was like, okay, he dropped too fast last night. 20 minutes after or something like that. So clearly he had it ready, right? And for him to come back today, I was like, okay, so I know nothing for certain. This is me speculating. But I thought, okay, like, he must have several songs ready, maybe even several versions of songs, like to counter everything that Drake does in several scenarios. Okay, Drake might do, like, think about it. Me and you have been doing this for a week, 2 weeks. On the phone, texting, mapping out scenarios. You don't think they're both doing the same thing?
No, 100%.
Of course they are, right?
Hey, again, and I said this before. I think I said it to you too. I've been playing that Chris Tucker thing. Yo, why you ain't tell me this nigga rolls like this? I know Drake is 100% locked in. Like he's a thinker. He's probably consulting and talking to the people who he probably feels has the best angles. He probably has cooked up 50 million strategies. If he goes here, there's 2 outs. Make sure you have this prepared for this and this prepared. I didn't think Kendrick was doing the same.
I'm gonna be honest, that's surprising to me because I feel like I know he doesn't speak publicly a lot, but I feel like he's always presented himself as somebody who's thoughtful and strategic. Like, think about the rollouts and like how surgical they are, right? Like, I feel like everything's intentional. Maybe I'm saying that because I've had behind the scenes conversations with them where I get to see their wheels turning, and I'm picking up like even more context than like most listeners. But I feel like people who've been paying attention to Kendrick for like the past decade or so, they knew he was capable of this, and that's why there was a narrative that, you know, Drake wasn't really ready for the smoke with Kendrick because he's a different animal. You know, Push is a formidable lyricist, but with Kendrick, you also have somebody who's a generational superstar. So it's a different type of impact. That's why we're seeing this battle, you know, come to a stalemate until today, where like the stands on both sides are holding their guy down. So we're not coming to a clear consensus. But he's always been like that, bro. He's always been super thoughtful, super methodical, him and his team. I expected it.
I have a random question, and by the way, completely fine if you can't even give us any insight. You know, Rap Caviar is the biggest playlist in the world. Have you seen any more, or maybe a unusual amount of fan consumption of just either the music or the playlist because of this back and forth? Because trust me, I'm gonna be honest with you, these days, I only bump these songs. I bump them all in a row. I don't bump nothing else. I'm not trying to listen, hey, listen, I was with some people that they try to squeeze in some boss man D-Lo. I'm like, all right, listen, put that push-ups back on. Come on, drop it, give me 50. Stop playing.
So I'll answer the question. To be honest, it's fine. So that's typically how it works. Like if there's a moment happening in this genre with music, not necessarily this battle, a song that's doing really well, an album or whatever, and it's on a playlist, not just Rap Caviar, all playlists on Spotify, it does drive consumption.
Wow,
so,
okay.
So I'm going to take it back, Ak. I don't know if you remember, we had a billboard that came out a couple weeks ago about hip-hop still being number one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that was a response to the narrative that hip-hop is declining.
Yes.
I've been plotting that billboard since February.
Okay.
You know why?
Because by the way, I want to slow people down. I also don't know if people realize that maybe your involvement in even Rap Caviar doesn't just stop at a playlist. Like, you guys are a platform, right? Like you guys have produced content. You guys are responsible for way more. Like, I mean, you guys also like team up with artists and sponsor shows. Like, it's way more than just a playlist. There's a lot of activations and other things that go into what Rap Caviar is. I don't know if people know that. That's want to be open.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first sign I saw this year was 21 Savage, the American Dream album. It did really, really well, and you saw a boost, right? And then Vultures. That Carnival, was a monster.
Really?
Yes. It was nuts. It was the. I'm gonna tell you this, because I was upset about the narrative about rap's decline because we still had market share and we were still number one. But in reality, I thought that the music hadn't been as good for a while, right?
Wait, Carnival is that big?
Oh, Carnival was a monster, bro. Carnival was a monster. Carnival, the numbers, I won't give you numbers specifically, but Carnival, the streams on Rap Caviar, they're like the biggest streams I've seen in years, like since 2020. It was insane.
And by the way, that was independent, correct?
You said what?
That was independent because that's Ye's project. He's independent.
Yes, independent, bro. I so independent that day when Carnival dropped, Justin LeBoy had to put me on the phone with Ye so I can get all the details to get the album up on a Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, no. When I tell you that it's independent, they gave me the name of a platform I had never heard before. There is no backing. It was independent. But let me get back to what I'm saying.
Good.
But yes, the long-winded answer is yes. Obviously, it happens in general, but these songs are so massive, all of them, right? Like That is massive. Euphoria, Push Ups did incredible. Family Matters is doing well so far. Like all of these songs, I mean, you're seeing it, right? It's probably affecting back catalogs for these artists. Like we're all like we're up, right? All of us. Like it's gonna sound cliche, but all of this is good for hip hop. Like, you've been, one of the most relevant media, personalities for a while. You're up. Like this moment is impacting everything.
Yo, Carl, let me say this. Hey, my birthday is in 17 days. Everybody keeps saying, hey, where are we going? Turks, we're going here. Yo, I haven't been on a vacation in 2 years. They're like, yo, let's do something. Man, I'm almost about to tell them I'm about to make up another birthday because I'm not going nowhere.
Yo.
Hey, right now, hey, listen, I feel I belong to the people. I'm just here to turn the platform on. And, yo, Carl, like, me and you, I know we're gonna link personally soon. I appreciate you so much for even you. Like I feel like I've brought you on a few times and you've always just gave just such quality. Like even though off the record, you've always just gave me such amazing content for what a fan like me, and that's how I built my platform. You gotta be the person who really cares, and the person who really cares wants to hear like the shit you're saying even now with Carnival. Like, got my whole stream going crazy. You get what I mean? It's like, because that shit that they care about, because most of the shit is fan-driven and passion-driven. You get me? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I summed it up. Like, I think this battle is historic in so many ways, but one of the things that is driving is consumption, and everyone who's part of it in some capacity is benefiting from it, right? Like, you're benefiting from it, being at the center of it, premiering songs, and being like the main source for like one of the two artists involved. Like, your platform is elevated moving forward. Like, a playlist like Rap Caviar is benefiting because there's more fans going to it to stream all these songs. Like, same with other podcasters. Like, Joe's always up, but same, right? Like, Joe thrives in these scenarios. Like, he's one of the best, if not the best, at breaking down beef. Like, I love Joe's podcast. I am particularly tuned in when there's any kind of tension going on because Joe has a way of dissecting it. So I just hope that, it stays in the spirit of what it was supposed to be, which is competitive. And
not violent.
Is a thing, yes. And is a thing that, was missing in hip hop for years, because I feel like the new generation competes more on the lifestyle and the things than like the music. But really we're all benefiting from it.
Yo, Carl, I'll tell you this from my angle. I cover a lot. And, anything ancillary to hip hop you might catch me talking about. If it's a necessarily hot topic. You don't know how happy I am that the number one thing I'm talking about, because, I've always told people, I said, hey, listen, I cover hip hop, but look at me on Instagram. I got 5 million followers. You know what's way bigger than me? Shade Room.
Yeah.
I'll cover Moneybagg Yo, the artist, and yeah, it works fine on my platform, but the platform covering Moneybagg Yo's girlfriend gets 5 times the amount of engagement. A lot of times, music and excitement around music, it's almost like people don't like talking about music that much unless it So when now even this, I get it. Sometimes people want a storyline. I'm glad that this is something that hopefully is going to always, remain non-violent. I'm finally glad that when I'm loading up a stream, we're about to talk about music. And if I'm like, yo, I just like how Drake rapping on Family Matters more than how blah 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 blah, we're talking about music. That's the most exciting thing for me now.
Yeah. Well, I think I hope people get inspired from it, right? If you're someone who aspires to be in media, even if it's someone who doesn't agree with you and Joe, right? Then let this moment be inspirational for you to like figure out a way to have your own platform moving forward and cover it the way you see fit. And then if you're an artist, do the same thing. Like be inspired by how competitive Kendrick and Drake are and like get in the lab and cook up. Like that's the other part of it. Like we are witnessing something historic. We're all going to remember it, but we also need to use it as a springboard. When this shit died down, what else? Because, going back to like Carnival, like think about it, right? The year's been insane. We're only in May. The 21 Savage was a moment. Carnival was dominating everything for a couple of months. Then Future Metro, and now it's transitioning to Drake and Kendrick.
Wait, can I ask you a question about Carnival?
Yeah.
Is it because of the parties that were involved? I know Cardi has such a huge fan base. Like, why do you think Carnival was such a hit? Is it because the song was so good? Because I ain't gonna lie, and I've never said this before. When I first heard Carnival, I was very annoyed by the intro. Like that Carnival. Like, I was always annoyed by it, and I always was like, "Are people liking this because of this?" Now Cardi has an amazing verse, and Ye does his thing. But why is it so popular? Go ahead.
So it's the damn chant, man. Like it gets you hooked. Okay. It's weird to say sing along when you're talking about a chant, but the production pulls you in, and the chants are part of the production, right? The energy is insane, right? It's a workout record. Like workout records get a lot of mileage because you listen to them in all these different settings. You could drive to them, you could work out to them, you go out, you hear them out. Cardi is 100% part of the reason why Carnival was so successful. People are waiting for his project. It's been All Out of Red is what, 2020? It's been 4 years, right? It's been a minute. So Cardi's not like Travis, but it kind of reminds me of like that window between Birds and Astroworld where Travis kind of took a break and fed his fans with features, and like the anticipation like built up to the point where Astroworld just went crazy. I feel like Cardi is doing something similar where like he's making people wait, and if the next project is good, it's gonna completely take over. So yeah, Cardi's part of it, but yeah, I think it's just a fire record. And then like it's the story around it, right? It's you find out that the sample is Kanye literally recorded. I forget the name of like that soccer team in Europe or Ireland or whatever. He literally had these dudes in a room recording the chants. That shit goes viral. It makes people think about how brilliant Kanye is. He goes number one independently. His first number one since Stronger, right? So in 17 years solo. So it's all these different checkpoints. First it's the music, it's Cardi, and then it's the album going number one, then it's the viral clip, then it's the song going number one. So it's all these things that happened after the song dropped that kept on feeding the song, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, so I was really trying to get to this Not Like Us record. Yo.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm a top 5 Drake fan of all time.
Yes.
By the way, I've said that, and by the way, I've always been on challenge, and I've been waiting for people to say there are people that know more Drake or like Drake or are bigger fans than me, we can't find it because they know what it is. Anyway, here's the point. This Not Like Us record, this shit is a fucking smash. I wanted to ask you before because it dropped while I'm on stream and it's rare. It's fucking rare that I ever certify some shit as a hit. Wow, like, yo, listen, let me tell you this. You know how many Drake, people give, I can't remember what album, they were like, oh, IQ fell asleep. Well, albums come out at midnight, and Drake had released an album at like 2 a.m. one time. Yeah, after 3 listens, the 4th listen, I fell asleep, and they made a meme out of it, but like, I love the album. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, but there's been mad other projects. Even like, say Drake's last project, right? For All the Dogs. Now, the scary hours version, I loved it, whatever. But before, I was a little disappointed. I was like, what's going on? Right? A lot of by the way, in post, I love that fucking album. I say that to say, it's so unfair when albums drop at midnight on Thursday night or Friday morning because, you're forced to almost have like an opinion about a project you've never heard before. And it's not like these niggas playing me the songs like they sent me the song 10 days before. I'm listening to it on stream. I rarely can tell when I like a song immediately.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm trying to say, and this was the point. This motherfucking Not Like Us record, I liked within 20 minutes. This shit is fire. Bro, this shit is bumping. Yo, I told my stream, I said, I gotta go get some refill of my liquor and my orange juice. I go upstairs. Like, I can't. So when I go upstairs, I'm hearing it through my floor. I can't even hear the words no more. It's just the beat. But I'm hearing the doom, doom. I'm like, oh! It still makes me want to dance. I'm like, oh my God, this is a possible hit song. That's what I think. Yeah. Carl, what do you hear?
So it's a dope song. I feel similarly about the song. Like, immediately, clearly a party vibe. I'm looking forward to hearing it in that setting. And, you can kind of... you can kind of forecast the moments in the club setting, right? When like the song of the moment is popping, and like the whole club is waiting for certain parts to come on, so they can just do rap karaoke. That's what's gonna happen. Like the minor line is gonna go crazy. He's gonna have a lot of clubs.
The A minor shit.
It is. It's just as catchy as hell. He's gonna have a lot of clubs chanting the OV Hoes thing at the end. Like, it's. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I gotta see what it looks like and what it sounds like in that kind of environment, because clearly that's what he was going for. I know Like That's been outside, but he's going for another one that, is going to get played in that setting, and then he's getting the bars off.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. This record, if he was keeping it in the tuck, and by the way, DJ Mustard killed it. Unfortunately, I know Drake said, I'm not going to respond. I think he got to come back. And I'm agreeing with Joe Budden.
He really said, wow, I missed that. And he told you in confidence, or he said it publicly?
No. Well, he said, I'm going on vacation. He says it on the record.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
That sounds like, yo, I'm going to catch y'all niggas later. Y'all tried it. Y'all ain't get it. Fuck y'all niggas. I got y'all. Here's what I'm saying. I'm actually with Joe that I believe, no, Drake, you could go dip off for a second. By the way, yo, I'm a reasonable fan. You've given us 3 albums. You gave us an 84 city tour. You've given remixes and verses to everybody in the game. You deserve a goddamn break, and now you got to go beef with this motherfucker. You dropped a couple songs, brother. All I want from Drake at this point, timestamp, a drop mic moment. By the way, I don't care what niggas say. I think he did his thing. That's all I want. I do want a timestamp. Joe kind of put that kind of in my ear, and I'm like, I do want a timestamp. That's kind of all I want.
I saw when Joe was saying that, and I thought it was a good idea. I think I think we're damn near overstimulated right now, especially this week. Like the fact that they dropped so many records, we're still digesting them. Not even just not like us, like what dropped yesterday. Like Push Ups is only three weeks old. Like the shit, all of this shit is new. So I think the beef needs to we're spoiled now, right? We have an embarrassment of riches. I think the beef needs to transition into a new phase. So I do think that if he comes back a little later with a timestamp record, it's fine. Like, I just don't know that they're going to keep dropping songs for months every week.
No, Carl. So then I get into, I think, I apologize for hanging up on you earlier, but yeah, Joe was calm, but on some real shit, like he echoed a lot of sentiments I had. Like, for example, in the sense of, well, Drake has nothing to gain but everything to lose.
Yeah.
He has nothing to gain but everything to lose.
Yeah.
So now this guy is painting me as a pedophile. Yeah, I could rap with him, but I'm dignifying the angle that I don't want to be dignified. Also, here's the thing. I've done my thing. Like, why am I keep going at this guy?
The reason to keep going at this guy...
And also, I don't get anything out of this. If I'm Kendrick, Kendrick, I diss this nigga till eternity. Yo, and by the way, and you don't got to answer. You could hit up your research department because I know you have a team.
Yep.
Did any of the songs on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers or any of the features outside of Like That do any numbers compared to what these new songs are doing in terms?
Wait. You say Mr. Morale, or you're saying We Don't Trust You?
I'm saying Mr. Morale and even Like That. What I'm saying is that right now, Kendrick is gaining from this battle based on the fact that people thought he was an underdog. He's going against Drake. Kendrick does not have this motion if it's not juxtaposed to Drake.
Nah, because, you got to go back to humble. So you're isolating Mr. Morale or like his whole career?
No. We could take his whole career. Your Spotify. Hold on.
Humble, like all the stars. Like
none of these
huge records.
Huge record. Hold on. You know what motherfucking Euphoria just did? No video, no radio play, no promo behind it. Are you trying to tell me that that's like the same?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But you can't look at it as if Kendrick is not already a superstar that has hit records and is going number one without being in the battle, because he's done that. It'd be one thing if he was just like a guy that's struggling to go gold and all of a sudden you're doing superstar numbers, but he's already a superstar. So yeah, of course, the context of the battle is going to help the numbers 100%. But again, everybody's up. You just said earlier that for all the dogs, you, the top 5 Drake fan, right? You were disappointed by the first version. And then you like the deluxe that he dropped.
Yo.
Drake is coming off a project that a lot of people, even his fans, even his fans didn't like. And Drake, in the last month, has given us music that a lot of people are enjoying. So he's up too.
No. I actually don't believe that.
You don't believe what?
If I'm Drake, I feel like I'm doing charity work. I'm going to tell you why.
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
I
Tell
don't think Kendrick has the same traction without me being involved, without me being juxtaposed to whatever he has going on. I believe that I'm not getting the value out of it that they're getting. I'm the biggest regardless. If I'm not in beef, if I'm not dissing no one, if I drop a random song, I'm gonna go get whatever number you said that Drake is doing now. I get that same number. I literally get that same number without any type of confrontation.
Yeah.
These guys are breaking their records only when they're juxtaposed to what I got going on. So you're trying to tell me that I'm benefiting from them? It feels like they're benefiting from me.
I think at least from not numbers wise, right? Because I think the numbers that Drake is doing now, I agree, they're probably similar to this type of. Actually,
yo,
let me take it.
Kendrick has never beaten Drake in numbers. Yo, hold on, wait. Kendrick has never beaten Drake in numbers, period, in his life, in his alternate reality, in his dream, in his nightmares. But now he is.
Go ahead. Remember 2017 when More Life came out in March and Damn came out in April? Damn, right? So that's the one time.
Hey.
Because we talked about this. We agree. Drake is the biggest rapper of his generation. We agree on that.
Hey, no, you saying that you either watch the stream miner or my Vlad interview, because you're right. I ain't gonna lie, that is right. Go ahead, take it. Go ahead.
So actually, I'm taking it back. He is up because the songs that generated traction from For All the Dogs. If I just use Spotify. Right? First person shooter. Rich Baby Daddy. I Don't Give a Fuck. Those songs did well. Push Ups is performing better than those songs. Family Matters is going to do better than those songs. So yeah, they're both up.
Yeah, but play this. Without me, Kendrick would not be doing these numbers, period. So he's...
Come on, man. It's okay. Like, bro, everybody's up.
No, that matters, though. Because I put it like this. If I'm beefing with someone and maybe I get a 15% increase while they get a 180% increase, I'm like, yeah, we're both up, but it's doing more for you than it's doing for me. Drake's already the biggest in the world. Again, this is why I agree with Joe. There's nothing he could win, only what he could lose.
So let's be fair. I think we're both right. Here's what I mean. They are both up in the context of this battle, but if you drop like that, the exact same song, and there's not a Drake diss in it, it probably doesn't do the same numbers. It does very, very well because it's a fire song, but the diss, makes it drives curiosity. It pulls people in.
Okay.
But it's still Future, it's still Metro, it's still Kendrick, so you can't completely discredit them because they've gone number one before. So just to be dismissive and say like, nah, they can't do those kind of numbers without dissing Drake. That's not true. They've gone number one. They both have. Well, if Drake was on the stream right now, he's like, well, both times Future went number one. I was on it. Yes. But Kendrick is going number one before.
I think Kendrick has an incentive to continue this issue and beef with Drake. And if I'm Drake, I'm like, yeah, it's dope to have this legacy point that I beef with this guy who's also this, backpacker rapper that you know what I mean? Yeah, he has this fame, but he's known as a quintessential MC, but like, what do I really get out of this? I'm already number one. Like, to be honest, I could not respond to this guy and I'll still be number one. I'll still be number one. Like
So
Drake.
I'm gonna sorry, nah, I'm listening. Yeah.
Yeah, no. He didn't have to respond. He would still be number one. I'm not seeing what Drake gets out of this.
So at this point, I understand, right? Because you can two options. You can make a comeback, but it does feel like he's in a hole right now that's going to be hard to climb out of, or you fall back, right? I think we've seen enough. As much as I'm enjoying the battle, like that's a lot of music for us to enjoy, and I think that the next step is for them to go into the cycle of whatever is the next thing that they're doing, right? Like, there's no way Drake's not dropping an album at some point this year. When is that going to happen? Maybe that's when we get the timestamp record. I feel like both sides maybe need to transition into, dropping like subliminals on songs and, here and there, and maybe not give us full songs. But here's what I think.
We're too far gone.
You said what?
We're too far gone. This is a time of we're going at each other. We're not doing subliminals anymore.
But you know what I mean. Well. So let's think. Okay, so after Takeover and Ether, you don't think that Jay-Z and Nas were still jabbing at each other? Yeah, it was subliminals. Everyone knew who they were jabbing at, but it was subs. That's fine. You don't have to like call his name out every time. But here's the thing, that we haven't talked about. I think we've been isolating this battle without talking about the stakes. And you know what's at stake?
What? Tell me.
The throne. If Kendrick is declared the clear winner in a battle, he seizes hip-hop's throne. Officially. Not based on sales, but based on having gone head-to-head with the person that's been occupying the throne most of the past decade. And here's how it happens, right? This is step one, the battle. You have Kendrick up, right? Like, everybody has Kendrick up today, right? Everybody.
Are you asking my rating?
Yeah. Yes, what's the rating?
24 hours ago, Drake was up. Today, I would say Kendrick is up. Not by he ain't up 10. He ain't up 15, 20. But he might be up by like 5 or 6.
All right, so he's up, right? So, hypothetical scenario. This is the end of the beef, this phase, right? Kendrick won. He's on the throne. Second phase, Drake drops the album later this year. Kendrick drops the album later this year. How does it sound? Is it good? How is it received? Is it impactful? Is it influential? And who is selling what? Once we get all of those results, we're going to see who's sitting on that throne at the end. You sound nervous, Act. You got quiet.
No, I'll give you that. You're making a valid point. I just don't believe that nothing will change. If you thought Kendrick was the quintessential pure MC, no matter what's going to happen here, I don't think Drake has the ammo to make you think differently. If you thought thought Drake was he's a pop guy, but like when he really want to rap, he really get to it type shit, and he's the best, which I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, oh no, Kendrick is whatever. If anything, it would lead more towards how they are in confrontations. That's more at stake, if you ask me, right? Because it's not that I don't think Drake could rap with Kendrick. I'm looking at Drake as this guy who is been so hip hop, he's also adopted the hip hop mentality of being fearless, being almost like, yo, you niggas really don't want to get it on with me. Like when I listened to him on 5 a.m. in Toronto when he said, I could load every bullet, I could load every gun with bullet that fire backwards, I still won't ever lose a single rapper. I believed him when he said, yeah, these niggas really don't want it with me. They won't even try me.
Yep.
I'm down for any of this shit. These niggas don't want it. So it could possibly change that with me, be like, Joe said something while he was on stream with me. He said, yo, the real MCs, we haven't viewed Drake as the guy who, like, yeah, he's good. He is one of the best MCs. But when he goes against another real MC, he'll find the out at times, i.e. me, i.e. Pusha T, that he doesn't want to engage with. And when it's an easy win, he'll do the encore or the victory lap. Yeah. And I never thought about it like that because I think the way how he washed Meek Mill, I assumed and I really projected any of you pussies who wanted to get it in with my guy, he gonna wash you just the same. Seriously.
I don't think there's a lot of people that can go toe to toe with Drake. I'll be honest with you. I think I don't know that as formidable as Pusha T is. I don't know that anybody saw this coming. I think Kendrick is someone that people always thought had the potential or was capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I look at the landscape. I can't see a single person. But I agree with some of what you're saying because I'm a person who views them the same way you described them. I don't think of Kendrick as a backpacker though. Like he's much bigger than any of those guys from the underground movement were back then. But he is someone who is.
Okay, and I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but let me add this to it. I think if this results in Kendrick getting the better of Drake, it gets me more infuriated with Kendrick.
Why?
Not because of Drake. It's because one of the reasons why Drake is my favorite is that Drake is for the fans. I think he sacrificed most of his life for what we like him for. This is a guy who has foregone his privacy, personal privacy, going away, like getting a shit ton of money. Like, you know, J. Cole and Kendrick have a shit ton of money, but they get to enjoy a level of privacy and gets to be secluded away from this whole madness, while Drake is always in the fray. He's the guy who's always, and I'm not saying that doesn't come with also its own perks, but I would get upset at someone like Kendrick to say it's the reason why I watch every NBA game, but somebody told me the Clippers got eliminated in the game, right? In basketball. Yep. Well, here's the thing. People kept saying how Kawhi was comparable to LeBron, but I've always criticized Kawhi as he should never be mentioned with LeBron. He doesn't want it like LeBron. He doesn't put the work in like LeBron. He doesn't make the sacrifices like LeBron. And that's why I would get more upset at Kendrick. If Kendrick gets the better of this, I'm going to get upset at Kendrick that if you're this good, if you're this guy who's even better than the guy who I really like, you show up once every fucking 5 years, you don't put out music, you're not ever present in music, like to me, that create a disdain for a nigga. Like, bruh, you don't deserve the title of being king. If you think that you just get to sit on that throne and not be able to do what I do like about Drake, he did the shit that if you're king, you got to do. He accepted every challenger. He tried to help young niggas coming up. He tried to be present. I don't really look at J. Cole nor Kendrick. That's why when that nigga first said it, the same line that that Drake used on push-ups without, I didn't even know he was going to use it. When I said, what top 5 you smoking on? I don't think you've been present in this culture, my nigga. Wait, if we got to go 5 years without hearing from you, it bothers me. I don't think you're that busy. I don't think your family life is that much. So when I got a nigga who's been playing that role all along, and if you're better than him, we'll do the shit he's doing times 10. It bothers me. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's start with Cole, right? Cole has been on the run of features for the last.
I give Cole the credit. I do give Cole the credit.
Wait. I let you cook. Like Cole, you pointed out, sharing your platform with like up and comers, right? Cole has been doing it for the last 5 years. Anything from working with Dirk. I mean, not that Dirk is up and coming, but Cole has been collaborating with a lot of people who benefit from the guest verse for the last 5 years. And when I think 5, I think about a lot with 21 Savage. Won a Grammy, right? Cole's pretty active now. Cole has never taken a break. I know you're saying that about Kendrick specifically, but Cole is always active.
Cole in the last 3 years.
Cole is not in the club, but Cole is out there. You can touch him. You can be out there. Cole is out there, right? Now, Kendrick, let's go through the chronology, right? Session 80s, 2011. Good Kid, Mad City, 2012. Then Pimple Butterflies, 2015. So that's a 3-year break. Then Damage 2017. That's a 2-year break. Kendrick was supposed to drop in 2020. The pandemic happened. And he readjusted, just like a lot of people that were supposed to drop in 2020. You don't think Cardi B had plans in 2020? You don't think a lot of these people had plans to drop that year? Nope. We had to deal with a global pandemic, right?
No. You're not being also honest to this, and you know a lot more behind the scenes conversations. The reason why Kendrick Lamar didn't drop in 5 years, it wasn't really because he didn't want to drop. He had label fucking issues. He was getting off TDE and starting.
No.
Stop it.
Listen, I'm not even gonna engage with that thread, right? I'm not even gonna engage with that thread, right? Right. But you said something else about I'm trying to remember everything you said. The sacrifice. The beauty, part of the beauty about this battle is the contrast between Drake and Kendrick as artists and people, right? And Kendrick and Cole are just regular guys. They're, they don't want to deal with all of the things that come with the fame. That's just who they are. They choose to live a regular life. Drake loves this shit. Drake is one of the best people at being a celebrity. He's phenomenal at it. I don't think it's a sacrifice. He loves that shit. That's why he never goes away. Drake has FOMO.
Hey, no. Hold on. I think that's easy to say. But I at the same time, I still see it as a sacrifice. It's easy to say he's having fun doing all this shit. Drake 37, my nigga. I think he's foregone really settling down because he wants to still be the guy who was a playboy. Now, you could just say he's just having fun. I'm not saying it's not still fun, but the guy who was like, we've never seen the guy like when Jay-Z would start rapping about on Lost Ones about, Beyonce and him wanting to settle down. It was a different Jay-Z. It wasn't Big Pimpin' Jay-Z who was told I'm just fucking all the bitches. This was a Jay-Z saying, I'm ready to be at a different place in my life. Like, again, Jay-Z, matured and, went to that realm. I think Drake, if you would ask me, and again, I don't know a nigga like that. Okay, I never met him in person. I only talk to him. I talk to him, and we talk.
Wait, you still haven't met him in person? You just talked to him on the phone?
Yeah, I ain't met him. And I don't want to meet, I don't really care about meeting that nigga in person like that because I'm not no fan of him as a person. I'm a fan of him as a musician. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we're gonna meet. We're gonna meet, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? Honestly, like, I fucked up every time we was gonna meet. Like, Like the nigga would be like, "Yo, I come here," and I'm like,
I know because I was there one time. Remember, like that show in New York.
yeah, but yo, so I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I believe he's to chase being in that position where you're the best rapper and you're at the top rap spot, period. He's foregone certain shit. That is sacrifices to me. Because, whether he's enjoying it or not, if he was like, if he was ASAP Rocky, or, and this is no diss to ASAP Rocky, it's hard to be still making the type of music that you're making now. Like, Drake is still making music for 23-year-olds. If you're ASAP Rocky with 2 kids, married to a billionaire, you're heading to 40. Like, if ASAP Rocky now makes songs that college student would be liking, you'd be like, that's kind of odd.
Hey, Rocky's 35. Let's not age him yet.
No. I'm not aging Rocky, but Drake is 37. So I was talking about Drake.
Yes.
I was talking about Drake. I was like, I think he's foregone certain shit. Like, and people are gonna say I'm thinking too deep into this shit, but I do think, like, for example, Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless said one of the reasons why family life and having kids and certain shit never really occurred. Even Stephen A. Smith said basically the same. Is that, hey, they were so dedicated to their careers and what that meant in terms of sacrifice that they kind of sacrificed family or the opportunities or moments or foregoing certain shit that they would have to give up to start a family. I think that's what Drake has done. You might think it's the selfish reasons why he's trying to remain the top rapper, but I think if this nigga was just like, yo, bro, let me just go hang it up and blah, blah, I think the music just wouldn't sound the same. I don't think he would have the same cultural impact. I think he's made sacrifices.
Okay, I get that, but I don't think that needs to be a good reason to be upset at Kendrick either. Like because he's still giving us music. He's just giving us music at a different pace. And here's the thing: we don't know what the reality. We don't know if he was.
I'd be upset at Kendrick.
He didn't have his other obligations. We don't know that.
I'd be upset. Number one, I would never think that Kendrick needs to be making music for 23-year-olds. Never. I'd be upset at Kendrick.
No, just the presence, because you want people to be consistent in terms of output.
I'd be upset at Kendrick, and maybe it's a personal thing. I've felt, even from a media perspective, my life is this. Like, I don't go on vacation without this. I fuck a birthday. I've said it could be a mama's birthday. Anybody, nothing comes before what I think my purpose has been, which is this. And there are people like that. And that's why I kind of talk up to Drake. That's not Kendrick. Like, Kendrick clocks into work, gives y'all his great art, and he goes away. His life isn't hip hop. His life isn't living this moment by moment. Hold on. And by the way, I'm saying that with a caveat because I'm not trying to make people feel like, of course, Kendrick is hip hop. But what I'm saying is that he's not living the culture. He has a different. I think Drake's life is all what we see, while these other guys have the opportunity to be like, yo, here's what you get in terms of music. You get this limited scope of my personal life. Let me go live. Like, put like this. If Drake hangs out with a new girl, we see it. And obviously you're going to be like, well, that's by his own choice. But I do believe that's what goes into what he's become, right? Everything is transparent. He's not some recluse unless he's putting out music. We see the full 360 view of it. You get what I mean?
Yes, but just because you don't see it doesn't mean he's not living it. There's different ways of living it.
Okay.
He's just, someone who keeps everything tight, and there's only but a few people who get to see it. But trust me, he's living the culture.
Okay, all right, hold on. And matter of fact, let me just walk that back because I could tell people are gonna try to take it differently, and obviously, like I would never fix my mouth to say Kendrick doesn't live hip hop, like, right? Because, like, come on, like, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
All right, let me explain. It's like the responsibility of being the top guy that's leading a culture goes beyond just you putting out music. It's not about just you putting out music and disappearing. It's about you affecting a lot more other things. And I think that Drake is present in the culture much more to the effect than these guys who seem to just drop off their music at this point and disappear. It doesn't feel like they're caring about the sound, the this, the that. While it feels with Drake, he does. And I give him credit, and maybe I'm explaining this wrong. Should I take a couple shots, whatever? Like when I heard Thug on the Breakfast Club say this, he said, "Yo, a lot of these artists they get lit or get to the position where they don't need nobody else and they disappear." He's like, for us, Drake is all our OGs. He's the one who's still interacting with the culture. He's still fucking with the people who are trying to get to where he's at and trying to do different things. And I do give blame to niggas like Kendrick. And I'm not going to say Cole as much because I think Cole started to have a change of heart with certain shit. Yeah, like, why is that not respected, that what Drake does? And why is this whole, I just drop shit and just disappear? Why is that respected? I don't respect that shit at all.
I think you're reducing interacting with the culture to very specific actions, right?
Okay.
And it sounds like you're applying this to Kendrick's career, period. But let's be real, right? When we talk about the culture, like we also talk about social issues, and I'm not the most political person, so I want to get deep into it, right?
All right.
If you go back to 2015, and the climate about what we were feeling collectively with Tamir Rice and Eric Gardner and Trayvon Martin, like happening back to back to back, who responded and addressed the climate through his music on a mainstream level? Whatever y'all want to say about the Pimp a Butterfly, no, you gotta let me get this off. Whatever you want to say about the Pimp a Butterfly, that was the one album that did it. Cole, around the same time, was in Ferguson, marching with the people.
What year was this?
2015, right? They also were out there with the people marching during the protest with George Floyd.
Listen, by the way,
wait,
I agree with you.
Let me finish. Like you don't like I know both of those guys, right? But I don't want to reveal or like share too many of the things that we've talked about. All I know is that they see everything. Wait. Wait.
I ain't talking.
I'll ask for forgiveness later on this one because I think it's funny. I will use. You're the culture, right?
Yeah.
100%. So I'll use you as an example. So remember, you posted on your page. It had to be. I forget. It had to be before Damn, right? You posted a screenshot of a journalist saying that he heard early music from Kendrick, and it was an album with rock influences, right? And you posted it, and your question was, "Hey, Kendrick has a new album that's rock influence. Need it or keep it?"
Yeah.
Good memory. I see the post. Wait. I see the post, right? And I'm like, man, what do you mean? Keep everything, Kendrick, right? Not realizing that what I meant to say is need it. When I tell you, in the next 2 minutes, my notifications went crazy. And your comments are going at me crazy. So I'm like, man, I don't need to explain anything, so I'm just going to delete my comments. Who calls me later that night? Dave Free.
Shout out to Dave Free.
Right? Dave plays me, like, he doesn't say anything. He just plays me a song over the phone. I listen, and I'm like, wait, this is Kendrick? Man, I never heard this. And then he picks up the phone and he says, "Hey, yo, Carl, need it or keep it." We both start laughing. Bro, he was with Kendrick. They were just talking about my comment. They saw it. 2 minutes. They see everything. Bro, just because you don't see what they're doing doesn't mean they're not interacting with people. You don't know who they spend time with behind closed doors. You don't know what they're doing. The culture is not only in the U.S., it's global. These guys may be in other places. Like, I think that's unfair. I think you got to credit Drake, but it doesn't mean that you have to discredit him.
Wait. And let's not make this a Drake versus Kendrick thing. I'm agreeing with you in your original point, even with when you were saying the timeline. My timeline is after Damn. My timeline after Damn is that I felt like Kendrick left hip hop. I honestly I felt he left hip hop, and it's kind of interesting when he comes around and he's like, "Yo, hip hop should be like this," and "Yo, how y'all let this guy do this?" And I'm like, "Dog, you were at the helm. You were getting all the accolades. You had the Pulitzer Prize. You were the guy that the Grammys were saying, really, if we were speaking, and even as socially from a culture perspective, we gonna be all right, songs like that. You had the opportunity to shape this shit, and you went ghost. You did go ghost. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I do hold it against him. Nigga, I don't give a fuck if you had label issues and third from 2017 till 2022 or 2023, whatever it is. You were not here. You did not say, you gave a couple of verses, a Black Panther motherfucking soundtrack. You were not here. There's other people who showed up. Again, I have no problem before. Listen, I keep saying To Pimp a Butterfly, it's not, I don't even think it has one of the most replay values of any of the classics I've ever certified, in my opinion. But I know it was a classic. To Good Kid, Mad City, classic. Damn, a classic. But that nigga went ghost for 5 years. Well, if you're the leader of the culture and you now come back, and by the way, this is not a Drake thing. Fuck what him and Drake got. But he's talking, he said, I'm what the culture is feeling. Yes, the culture was feeling you, nigga, and 5 years you went ghost. So, of course, the culture is going to go left, right, up, down, because you, which had the culture in your palm to really guide it, you weren't here. And I hold it against him. I'm sorry.
All right. So, we're not going to agree on that, but let's talk about how he's guiding the culture now.
Okay.
By
the way, I like what he's doing now. I hope he stays present. I hope he stays present, because I was about to get mad at him again after Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Don't tell us, oh, I'm now back. I'm on PG Lang, which is my own label, so I got no more issues. I'm going to be here, and then we don't hear from you for like 2 years till like that. Brother, I need you to be here.
Live in the present, bro. Hip-hop was on the decline. People saying we were dead in the water. Hip-hop is dead. People get laid off. And guess what? We're having a historic moment right now.
No,
led
we
by
are.
Kendrick Lamar and your boy Drake. So let's focus on that.
I am focused on it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like. Listen, again, one of the reasons, and I don't want to put Drake into this. Okay. I always just say I'm glad my favorite rapper don't pick and choose when he want to be here, and he don't go play basketball for like a year, like for a whole fucking year, and basically ignore what's going on in the culture. Because you know how the culture gets to what we're talking about now. You know why when Kendrick says, Drake, I hate the women you fuck, you know why those are the women that are popping, nigga? Because a whole subculture takes over because you went ghost. So don't act like, yeah, my nigga, when you drop Humble and you were saying, I like bitches with they stretch marks and I like natural women, I was fucking with it. Okay, cool. Even I was on Everyday Struggle that time. I said, is he pandering? Then I said, oh no, he's leading the culture. That was the narrative. You know what happened? He went away. He stopped being here. Yes, when Drake got the culture, it's BBL time. It's all about fake shit. So if you don't want that to be the thing, don't go away. Stop going ghost. I can't stand Kawhi Leonard niggas. They don't deserve credit in my book. Stay here. Listen, this ain't the hardest job in the world, and also culture always needs guidance. When y'all niggas just drop one project, go away for 8 years, or oh you too cool to be on social media, or even pop up on some features, do some shit. What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I don't want to hear the part-time rapper come holla at the nigga who full-time. Get on a full-time schedule and holla at me. That's how I feel, personally.
I want to add one more thing, and then I gotta go. You've been on the phone for like over an hour. I got a life hack. I gotta act. I
gotta go too. Like it's like 2:00.
So you said something about if Kendrick was present, that some cultures. You said something specifically about the girls he referenced, but the reality is like, I don't think that him being present means that something doesn't rise to the surface, even if that's something that he doesn't stand for. Because right now,
Cap,
when climate wait, listen to me. Wait, let me finish. Because everything's fragmented now. All of these things are able to coexist. They don't necessarily step on one another. Just because one thing is happening doesn't mean the next thing is not. So I don't think that would have changed. I think that if Kendrick dropped 2 albums between 2017 and 2022, whatever subculture of women that you're referencing that rose to the surface, it would have happened regardless.
Hey.
So it's not him. You're shifting blame on him.
No. Hold on. Wait, let me crystallize exactly, and I'm going to plainly explain it again. When you come back and you say, I hate what another motherfucker represents because he represents A, B, C, and D, and you're describing even down to the women that he is involved with, and you're describing some of the things that is not in tune with your morals and codes. What I'm saying is that you are a cultural leader. Drake has helped shifted the culture that way. Why weren't you here to make sure there was balance? Why weren't you here? Where is the accountability for you? Because everything you're saying that you're tight about with Drake, Drake was here. Yeah, he's working with the Sexy Reds. Yeah, it's cool to say every time I see you with Sexy Red, I see 2 bad bitches. Y'all nigga about to pop ass. Well, listen, hey, we wouldn't have all of this if there was some balance. Kendrick, you do represent balance in this. We spoke about this before. Kendrick is balanced. Without a Drake, well, actually, I think it was me and Van Lathan. Drake and Kendrick, that's a balance of, it's like yin and yang. Like, come on. So what I'm trying to say is that when you go ghost, and then the culture goes left or goes wherever, when you come back and you just start pointing like, oh, I hate this, cool. I'm glad you pointed it out, but will you stay here to now empower the women or empower the shit you do like? Or are you the nigga who's your what's it called, a curmudgeon? Like you're only here to point out the shit you don't like. But the Kendrick that dropped Damn, he was the one who's saying, I love the dark skinned women with the natural bodies and the stretch marks and the this and third. Where's that guy at to empower them? All I'm trying to say is, if I'm asking too much by saying, my nigga, if Drake is the biggest artist in the world and he could be present in the culture consistently, I don't know what you got going on at your house, my nigga, and it's none of my fucking business, but I think you can be too. Because if you pop up every couple of years and you only got complaints, I'm going to start looking at you to say, nigga, hey, on every metric, you're beating Drake in numbers right now in terms of that argument y'all having. So how about you fucking stick around when this issue is done? So in a year from now, 9 months from now, 2 years from now, make sure you're not like somewhere in fucking Somalia walking barefoot with no Wi-Fi, not being attentive to what's going on. Stick around just like how Drake is stuck around. That's all I'm asking for these niggas. I don't want to see you peddling bicycles in Tribeca. I don't want to see you on the Ghanaian basketball team, the 12th man. How about you shift the culture a different way? Because, by the way, him talking about Drake blackness, that's a point to be discussed. Oh, well, not necessarily Drake blackness, but hey, are some people appropriating the culture and exploiting it and utilizing it and misguiding it, all good. That's great points to be discussed. But if you finna discuss it at the top of the culture, are you doing anything better, or are you the nigga who just you points out something is wrong and then when it's time to fix it, you disappear? That's all I'm asking. If this nigga stay present for the next 3 years, which by the way, I've been had him on a shot clock. When is Kendrick gonna disappear again? I think after whatever this result is with him and Drake, we won't catch this nigga till his next album, and then after that, we catch him in 5 years. Facts.
I don't think that's the case, but listen, I gotta go for real. We're not gonna agree on this. I think it's being simplified a little bit, but let's see what happens.
Okay.
Right now, we're seeing how he's gotten the culture now. So let's see how it happens moving forward.
Hey, and by the way, I like what Kendrick is doing right now, and I like that he's making a stance. I love that. I love it. So, yeah. I just want continuation because this is all of our lives, right? You know what I mean? It's his life, it's Drake's life, it's my life, it's your life, and we do need our leaders to be present, right? We don't need our leaders to like show up when it's convenient for them. That's it.
I disagree. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just don't think it applies to Kendrick. But
no, I agree. I understand that.
Yeah, to be continued.
All right. Yo, Carl. Thank you, my man. Here's the thing. Shit, I might be calling you back tomorrow. There might be another track dropping.
Let me know, bro.
My boy, man. I appreciate you so much.
All right, bro. Likewise. Later.
Yo, Chad, I got a little too passionate. I fuck with Kendrick a lot, man. Like, I don't want none of y'all to think I hate Kendrick, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. I really do look at shit. I'm like, man, there was a time in hip hop these niggas was not around. So when I hear Kendrick coming up and like he's like, bro, I'm glad you're now trying to, I'm glad Mr. Morale is trying to restore some morals to this shit. Cool, all good, but nigga, you need to stay here now. You need to stay here. You feel me? That's one of the reasons I didn't even think this nigga was going to respond back to Drake in timely fashion. I'm like, this nigga is really not tapped in. But he is tapped in, and it looks like he has an effort or he has a incentive to defeat Drake in their back and forth, and good for him. My thing is, after this issue, I'm not into artists just like disappearing and shit, unless you're retired. Like Jay-Z to me is semi-retired. Like, I'm not looking to hear Jay-Z say shit. Nor am I here looking to him to drop an album. Cole, I am. Drake, I am. And Kendrick, I am as well. Now, if they want to say they're retired, all right, that's another reason. But, hopefully, I know some of y'all are going to take that and try to twist it. This has been my stance. It's been my stance from the longest. I've been calling J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar Kawhi Leonards for the longest because I don't like the fact that they pick and choose when they're present in the culture. I want them to be around in a more stable, consistent capacity. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't know what's going on in your personal life, but I don't think it's that difficult to at least be somewhat involved. And I'll give Kendrick credit at times because, of course, when the Baby Keem, situation was starting to go up, we seen Kendrick pop out a few times. I just think he could do a little bit more. But that's just me. We could all agree to disagree on that, all right? So as an act, you entitled. See, it's not entitled. It's just like, I'm going to keep it 100. Like, if you're not here all the time, I don't want to hear you tell me about what Drake doing is wrong. Nigga, you wasn't here. Yeah, so whatever Drake was doing, you could have, hip-hop needs OGs. Hip-hop needs guidance, in my opinion. But anyway, I want to steer this left, right, and center. Okay. Roddy Ricch has chimed in.